Hi everyone, Dr. Kelly Ray here, your masterful mindset coach with strengthandsensitivity.com. So today I'm coming to you from this beautiful, beautiful Zen garden. It's just, I had to come be by these beautiful flowers here because I need to talk about balancing spirituality with daily living and what that looks like. We got so much going on right now. So we also have the full moon that's happening tomorrow, but we start to feel the effects of those energies days before and days after that full moon. As most of us know, full moons are a perfect time to do releases, letting go of things. And it's perfect for balancing spirituality with daily living, because in truth, spirituality is not separate at all from our daily living. It is our daily living. It is what we do. It is what we came here. We're all spiritual beings. We're all souls that have incarnated into these flesh vessels, as I would call them, for the purpose of experiencing this earth, this planet, this realm, whatever you want to call that. We came here because we wanted to learn. We wanted to experience events and that. And I know for some of you that are going through some really tragic, hard times right now, I'm sure there's parts of you are saying, what the hell did I sign up for? And there's that expression that says, God doesn't give you any more than you can handle. And I know that there's been moments in my life where I think, wow, he must think I'm a freaking rock star because I don't know that I can take much more of this. But in truth, I can. And it's not that I need to, but what these experiences, these events, that I've gone through, I would consider those part of my journey, part of what I wanted to learn. And part of that was learning how to tame that inner critic in my voice. In my voice. Yes, I know, she channels through me sometimes. I needed to learn how to tame that inner critic, because in truth, a lot of the trauma and a lot of the hardship that I have gone through, I never wanted to admit to myself on some level. I may have created it, and I may not have created it, but what I did create is probably it happening far longer than it needed to happen to in my life. And that comes through anxiety, that comes through depression, that comes through feelings of low self-esteem, that comes through believing somehow you deserved this, or that you don't deserve better. All of that stuff our inner critic tells us, because those are based on experiences that we had from a kid. A few things I wrote a couple of posts ago in our group was, in all honesty, people are saying, hey, I thought I dealt with that already. Why is this coming up again? Well, it's coming up again because we've only had X amount of experiences in our childhood. And those experiences continue to teach us throughout our life. It's never that you master any of those. They will continue to come up as we elevate up, as we expand, as we go through something new. They're going to trigger that because the inner critic gets scared. And every time he or she gets scared, they start running those old tapes. And yes, you recognize, hey, I've already dealt with this, so why am I still dealing with this? Well, because it's your inner critic's way of saying, hey, I'm scared. Hey, I'm not sure about this. Hey, I don't know if I want to do this with you or not. And that's when you need to get into that balanced state of being, of saying, okay, it's time we deal with this. This is also the time period where we need to learn to become comfortable in that uncomfortable time period of our lives. What do I mean by that? What I mean is, as the expression goes, the path of least resistance is what gets us through. Anybody that's ever listened to Abraham Hicks, I use this example all of the time because for so many years of my life, throughout times of hardship or struggle or pain, I've drawn upon this example to remind myself of what I need to do during these hard times, these difficult times. They are, Abraham talks about how you take a canoe and you go down to the river, because we've been taught that we have to work hard every day. And sorry, I'm trying to not get a shadow here. Hopefully you can see me. I barely see me. Anyway, Abraham talks about how we've been conditioned and trained that we have to work hard to have anything in life. Now, I'm not saying that you just don't go work hard and say everything will fall under my feet when they are supposed to and live a blissful, trouble-free life, because that's not reality here on this planet at all. But our reactions to it are. So this example that Abraham gives is taking a canoe down to the river, facing it upstream, rowing, paddling like mad, working hard at, fighting against the current, basically. And at the end of the day, you get out and you're all tired because you've worked really hard and you've done what you've needed to do. But, my friends, if you look, you're in the exact same spot as where you put in. And if you do that day after day after day, there's the likelihood that you're going to become weaker and not be able to sustainably keep pushing yourself so hard. And then at some point you don't even go down to the water and try anymore. So what Abraham talks about is, what if what you really wanted, and what if what you were really waiting to receive was just on the other side of this struggle, of this fight, of this persistence to resist change? And how do we do that? One, a really super easy one, is stop rowing. Stop paddling. Stop fighting the resistance of being in that uncomfortable state. Because what happens when we stop resisting and we actually stop paddling, take the oar up out of the water, our boat then turns and we're able to see things in a different light. We're able to see different solutions to our problems that are just so obvious to us, but because we were so focused and our vision became so narrow in feeling like we had to fight it all by ourselves and, all that crap we feed ourselves, what we needed was right there in the path of least resistance. So that's how we look at balancing our spirituality. Spirit doesn't need to be balanced. Spirit is balanced all of the time. Always. It's we, the ones in these flesh vessels, that get out of whack or get a little twisted up or needlessly suffer. Or yes, at times we land at the feet of injustice being done to us. Learning how to get through that is the key. Learning how to navigate through that uncomfortable state in a comfortable state is what's going to help you to get through it quicker, help you get through it faster, as opposed to staying stuck and bogged down in that mud, that murk, that where slime builds up in stagnant places. That's what happens to us when we resist learning the lesson. The other thing that comes to mind is, okay, so let's say you start working on some of this stuff. Maybe you even work with a coach or a counselor, or you take a class somewhere to work on the subject matter that you're wanting to learn. And as you're going through the process, you're on fire. Things are lighting up for you. Things are making sense to you. Things are clearing up for you. And you're like, yeah, this is working. Yeah, this is great. Yes, this is going to help me. This is exactly what I wanted. This is exactly what I need. And wow, I'm getting more than what I need. And then you leave that coach, you leave that counseling, you leave that class to now go implement all of that you learned, embraced, got excited about, and you take that out into your everyday living. And if you're not practicing it every day, and if you're not recognizing that life goes like this, as opposed to this, or just like this all the time, then you hit those moments of resistance. You hit those moments of hardship. You hit those moments of frustration. And then what happens is we look for somebody or something to blame for now our life feeling out of balance. Like right now, this camera, it's feeling out of balance because I'm trying to, who knows? We'll just go with this. Hopefully you can hear me, and hopefully you can see me, and hopefully you get the message. So we get through these moments of, oh crap, you know what? I invested all of this money in counseling or this class or this coach, and it really didn't do anything. My question to you, my friends, is to really think about that statement. And I want you to think back to when you were actually working with that coach, that counselor, taking that class, and reminding yourself of what it was that you got from that, because you were feeling on fire and you were feeling really good about all that you were learning and all that you were gaining and how you were seeing it was going to make a difference in your life. What's changed? The experience did not change. It did not. That experience happened. Remember what it was that you got from that experience and build on it. It's now integrating that into your life now. You don't lose those skills. They just get put away somewhere, and you need to pull them out and remember to use them. You don't turn that experience of being bliss and how this is going to help me and how this is amazing and all of that to now saying it was the worst investment I ever had. How can that be when you got something at the time that you got it? You need to look at that inner critic that's telling you that was a poor investment for you, that you didn't get anything out of it. When, if you reflect back on it, you did. So, what we're going to do is we're going to continue talking about this, creating balance. But for today, I'm going to draw a couple of cards again because I felt impelled to do that. As we're also going to talk about what happens with a full moon. A full moon is a perfect time for you to write down those things, thoughts, ideas of what are no longer serving you and releasing them. That's what full moons are about. They're about a release. They're about letting go. They're about surrendering so that you can move on, so you can do what you need to do, which is, in this group, be a badass hero. So the cards that I'm working with today is the Power of Surrender cards. I still feel like those are something that are needed to use. And I'm going to use the Fairy Tarot cards. Since I'm out in this beautiful little Zen garden, it felt like it needed to be pulled. So let me shuffle the cards. These are the back of them. I don't know what they are. I just ask what the universe wants us to know. Somebody on here may need to know this and has been asking for this. And so I'm going to... this one's pulled out, and we're going to pull a fairy. These are so beautiful. So I'm sorry if I'm not coming through clear. I can't really tell. I'm kind of funky with this camera, but it's all good. It's all good. Let's see. Who wants to come? Oh, okay, so we got two from the fairies. I love them. They're just so awesome. Okay, so let me put on my glasses. So the first one for surrender is surrender to your soul's path. I just love these cards. They're so beautiful. Your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every moment. And isn't that what we're talking about? Embrace the lesson and move on and use it for your growth. Isn't that just beautiful? Don't go back after you've learned the lesson or get the tools or get the help. Don't be afraid to ask for the help. Get the help. Be excited about getting the help and then later saying, well, that didn't help. That's not true. It's not true. You wouldn't have been excited when you were getting help in the first place. So the next card is 10 of Summer. An emotionally fulfilled life with family and friends, raising children wisely, people you can trust. So what this means to me is when it's talking about raising children wisely, that's talking about our inner critic too. And if you do have children around you or you work with children, yes, being absolutely mindful and kind and loving to ourselves is what they're going to observe and they're going to learn more than us saying, you need to be nice to yourself. You need to be nice to yourself, right? All right, let's see what the next one is. Princess of Summer. Gentle, sensitive, kind, inexperienced. A new relationship or an emotional experience. Invitations to social events. A compassionate friend can share your concerns with you. Beautiful. So I will, as I always do, take a picture of these cards and put them up on our group for us to see. But what I'm wanting you to consider doing, because I know that many of you in this group have even experienced this, some of your worst fears is asking for help. Whether one, because you've asked for help in the past and maybe somebody ignored it, or maybe it wasn't helpful, or maybe somebody wasn't able to, but because you were in such a situation, you took it as them rejecting you. And that's the kind of stuff that our inner critic will do. So I'm going to ask you to consider releasing some of that, because we're here as spiritual beings to experience this life. And honestly, the biggest lesson and experience in this life is partnering with others, learning to trust ourselves, learning to ask for help. We all love giving in this group. We do. We're great. We're the best givers in the world. And sometimes the shittiest receivers in the world. Part of having spiritual balance in daily living is balancing giving and receiving. What if I challenged you to not give? I know some of you are like, what do you mean don't give? Maybe it's time for you to become a good receiver. Try that. It'll be uncomfortable. It'll be uncertain because you're not used to doing it. But like anything else, try it. Practice it. And your giving becomes even more. I hope that you have a fabulous day. And know that I send you so much love. Bye.